What you think about Drake becoming the first artist to debut all 3 songs?
Yeah.
No answer. Like, I'm gonna say it.
No, I want to hear. Go ahead. I want to know what you gotta say.
Go, bro. No. I'm just saying, it's not a surprise.
Yeah.
It ain't a surprise, bro. But I'm saying, I'm just saying, give my man credit, bro. Give my man credit,
You
dog.
know what I hate about? So again, hip hop holds hip hop is weird, man.
Uh-oh.
We hold people hostage. Listen,
Go ahead.
Drake right now will be considered the greatest rapper of all time if it wasn't for those sample tracks where people say that Quentin Miller wrote him. Even though I do not believe Quentin Miller wrote bars for Drake.
Nah.
I don't believe that. I believe as Drake was going through his career, he wanted this other sound. Quentin had something that he liked and he paid homage so Quentin could get a check. Jay did the same thing with Big. He said every time when I use a big verse, I'm only bigging up my brother, bigging up my barrel, big enough to do it, right? So Drake, everybody talks about how generous he is. If you were in the studio when he did a song, he you getting a check, you getting a check. So he realized that this kid was working at the grocery store. He liked the flow he used on the song. He said, yo, I'm going to make sure that you get a check for that. I don't think Quentin Miller was writing Drake's bars because Drake been fire since way before, right? It's the same thing with Kanye when people try to discount him because he admits to having writers. Kanye didn't always have writers. He has writers now because he's busy. He has a freaking $1 billion shoe company. He's busy. He don't care about this no more. He's like, I'm not trying to be the greatest rapper alive anymore, right? So you don't care. You I'm trying to make good music. So anyway, the thing about Drake, am I surprised? No. Shout out to him because Drake, I think people forget because we have recency bias. Drake has been number 1 for the last 10 years.
Exactly.
Drake is literally the greatest rapper of all time. I don't listen.
Facts.
He just is. But guess what? Nobody's going to give him that because everyone's a purist. It has to be a Kendrick. You had to come from the streets. You had to come from the hood. You had to sell some drugs. Drake's too nice. He's too pretty for people to want to crown him the greatest rapper of all time. They're like, nah, we got to have somebody grittier. It's stupid. But shout out to Drake though.
But no,
You don't come from the traditional whatever.
Because I seen some shit earlier today that I think it was on Academics page where they was like,
You like academic?
I like academics.
Yeah.
I like academics.
But no,
Goodness.
because I seen you comment. I already know what you gonna say.
What?
Would you rather have Drake's career or would you rather have Jay-Z's career?
Drake,
If you could.
It depends on what my goal is.
That's what I'm saying.
Jay-Z or Drake?
So it depends. Yeah, Jay-Z or Drake. It depends on what my goal
I say
is.
Drake.
You know what I mean? If you mean I guess the accolades, if I'm chasing accolades or if I'm chasing this idea of being this hip hop connoisseur, I guess it's just different. I think it depends on what my end game is, right? I think I would probably pick Drake for a lot of reasons that we don't talk about because we respect Hov and he's the man. I love Hov. This is no shade, but he is what Cameron said, a swagger jacker. His whole career was preserved by being able to, ride everybody else's wave, right? And then once he got to a place where he was just like, all right, I don't care no more. I can just say whatever I want. He tried on American Gangster, and that wasn't really a great album. So he came out with the song. Remember, listen, I'm talking about numbers-wise. Numbers-wise. Because he came back and said, I'm going to give you that issue like that because he was mad that nobody really bought the album. So he was honest. He tells you in his music, all right, I'm going to just go back to talking this street stuff and this, that, and the third. So, I just feel like he's more of a chameleon when it comes to music. I think as a guy, he's just weird and he's fine, but if I'm just talking I want to solely be a talent, I'm going Drake 100%.
All the way.
Yeah, Drake is ridiculously talented.
I'm gonna go with Jay-Z because he's a billionaire. I'm trying to get rich.
He's trying to get rich.
I'm trying. That's the whole goal.
I say it all depends. Okay, you got the Drake, whereas though that me and Freeze always go about this too. Drake's background and dealing with his family being in the industry, also too in the industry of dealing with especially entertainment, having roots of being Jewish and stuff like that. So it was that much easier for him to kind of get in where he fit in. But however, I would never ever take away Aubrey Dram's Drake's talent at all. Yeah. I prophesized even Freeze could say since we was children back in I want to say back in 2007.
Wow.
I knew since comeback season that he's going to be the new Hov just to seeing his work, his drive, his pen. Just then because I'm only saying this is because that when I perceive something not only just from the I guess you say for example you say you look things through critical eyes, right? So I'm gonna look at a religious aspect, I'm gonna look at a political, a lot of things that might be touchy for someone, but however if I'm able to see the persona of what the world is looking for. Okay, who's the tall Canadian kid coming from America and really having bars and the fact that not talking about the streets, but at the same time running tracks and songs, and at the time, especially when it was King and Lion. You're dealing with Drake and Wayne. So and even before he even got to that point, when he was dealing with Trey Songz, a replacement girl. So it was literally that you can see the plight of him going through different necessarily genres and whatnot. So eventually, I'm not necessarily surprised that Drake would say, you know what, I'm a well, everybody eventually do it. So he sees it's too busy, but his talent and to copy necessarily how he does it. In my opinion, I love Drake the life, but to me, in a sense, he could be a swagger jagger on different energies of different things. Or he wants to go Caribbean stuff like this. But however, his talent
is doing that though.
No. That's what I'm saying. However, hear me though. But however, numbers don't lie, and the fact that even if I'm put it like this, even if I'm able to copy something, the fact that I was able to do it, to perfect it, I gotta give.
I'm with you. That's why Kobe is in my top 3 of all time, no matter what. Like Kobe Bryant.
Oh, Kobe.
Like, listen, you know, and I know this is off, and I'll let us get back to it. But I think it's interesting when people try to put Magic Johnson or anybody else. The only person I'll let you even debate is better than Kobe is Bron, because nobody's prime has been as long as LeBron. So if people say Bron, I'm like, all right, whatever.
Okay,
I'll let you argue that, but my guy is still going to be Kobe. And I'll tell you why. Everybody even says it. Everybody wanted to be like Mike. Kobe was the only one with the audacity to actually do it.